Hi everyone. In this video, we will see how to create a basic application using Apex that comes pre-configured with ADW when you provision the same in OCI. So whenever you provision a ADW instance, you get an Apex instance attached with it. So what we are going to do in this video is we are going to use this Apex instance to create a basic application. Now, the first thing we will have to do is we will have to go to Apex UI. So I will click on this instance name that is visible over here, and I'll click on launch Apex. So this will take me to Apex UI. Now, the first thing we will need to do is create a workspace. Now, to create a workspace, we have to log in using admin user. So I will give the admin password that I have, and I'll create a workspace. Now, I will use existing schema I have in my database. Give the name as demo. I'll keep the workspace name also the same and the password. Great. I'll click on create workspace. Once it is done, I will log in. I will log out of the admin user and log in with the new login into the new workspace. So my database user is demo, and I'll click on the sign in. So now once I am into the UI using the demo user, I click on app builder and I'll create a new application. Now, there are different ways you can create an application. For this demo, what I will do is I'll use a simple file with some dummy data that I have with me. Select the file, and it is asking me where to insert this data into, whether into the existing table or a new table. So what I'm going to do is I'll name that as demo revenue DTLS, and I'll click on load data. If you scroll down, you will see that it has automatically picked up the columns and the data that I have in my file. So I'll click on load data. Okay, so now the UI has loaded the data in my table. At this moment, if you want to check whether there is really a data loaded or not, what you can do is you can use the SQL developer on your machine to connect to the database and see whether the new table that you have given the name of, like for example, in my case, demo revenue details, whether the same table is created with the data. So in my case, the table is created with 8 rows in it. You can also view the table from the UI itself, or you can directly go to create application. I'll go to create application because I am going to create an application using the data in this table. I'll name this as demo application, and I'll keep rest of the things as is. I'll click on create application. So this should not take more than 30-40 seconds to complete. Great. So this application is created now. So what you can do is you can click on this run application. It will ask you for a login. And click on sign in. So your dummy application is created. So basically what it has done is it has created 4 tabs for you. So if I go to dashboard, what it has done is it has basically created some graphs based on the data that you have in your table. If I go to detail search, this page is basically giving you the same data with certain options to filter. And then there is a DTLS report, which is basically giving the same information in a different format. Now, what you can do is you need not basically stick to the, what you say, the graphs and the chart or the visualizations that is created pre-built by the application. You still have an option to create and present the same information using different applications, or sorry, not the applications. You can still present the same data in different formats. So what you can do is, that is where the designer comes into picture. You can also modify the look and feel of the columns or the names. Like for example, if I go to if I see this demo revenue details report, if you just want the heading to be something different, so I will go to app builder and demo revenue details report. So this is the page where you can just play around with different options that you have and make the changes to the final appearance. So I'll select this option. I'll go to breadcrumbs. I'll select the type as static content. I'll just give something. This page gives revenue data. Okay, and I'll save this. And if I go to the application now, if you see, the name is changed to this page gives revenue data. So basically what we have done is we have changed the heading of this demo revenue details to the content basically changed from the default one to this page gives revenue data. Similarly, what you can do is you can go to the application and create a different page. So for example, if I go to create page and let's say I want to create a dashboard, I'll give the default, a default option that is available over here. But basically, you can create a dashboard with different options depending on what sort of data you have. I'll click on create page. Okay, I think I'll have to name it. I'll name it as dashboard page, and I'll click on create page. Once it is done, what we need. Okay, I'll before explaining further, let's go to run application. Now what it has done is it has created a dashboard page for you with some default graphs. But if you see the values are coming as label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now how to make it in line with the actual data that is there in your database and the object from which you want to represent the data on your dashboards. So what I will do, I'll go to page designer. For chart one, I have a series one here. You see here, it is basically taking some dummy data. So I'll change it to I'll keep the local database, but I'll click on the type table view. Then the data I have is demo revenue details because this is the table we have selected, and I have to give the label. So I will see the revenue data. Sorry, I think it should be other way around. I'll see the customer data for, so basically I'll see the revenue data by customer. Similarly, for chart 2, I'll again select the type as table view. Here, I have to give the table name, demo revenue details. And here probably I want to see by product. And I'll click on revenue. Now, because the dummy data I have doesn't have any other label, so I'll just change it for these two. I'll click on save. I'll see the application. So now if you see, my chart 1 is changed to the revenue details by customer and chart 2 is changed by product. So there are other things that you can do. You can create different pages the way you want. You can change the properties of the default pages. And another quick, what you say, importance of using Apex in a project is, let's say you want to give some additional control to the business users. So in a traditional project, what happens is a lot of control is still in the hands of the technical team where they do all the data massaging, they do the data modeling, and then the reports are visible to the end users. But here, the control is entirely into the hands of the technical team. Now, let's say you have a scenario wherein business says that I want to update the data through files, but I want to upload those files into the table. So you give me some kind of a UI wherein I can upload the files depending on the frequency I want. I will have my own verification mechanism wherein I will validate the data. If the data is not correct, I will ensure that I create some kind of a workflow wherein a person who has uploaded the data, once he uploads it, that data goes for validation to some senior authority and the person validates it, and only when both both the person who uploads it and the person who validates it confirms it, only then the data is loaded into your database. This kind of control, if business wants it with their in their own hands, what we can do is we can leverage Apex, which is a low code UI. We can create a page wherein we can give them that functionality to upload the file from the UI. Once they upload the file, it goes for approval. Once the approver approves it, then only the data is uploaded into the database table. And from there, probably your ETL mechanism can pick up the data and do the data massaging, and the data is loaded into data warehouse. So this is one classic case which is a real value add to the business also, and can be implemented using this Apex UI. Hope you have found this summary or the overview of Apex insightful. If you have any questions around it, please drop them in the comment section, and I will be happy to take it up in the next videos. Thank you.